You want to know what Novak Djokovic's greatest achievement is? Check out the next clip.
My greatest achievement is my open mind.
I recently listened to a great podcast from Jay Shetty and Novak Djokovic, and they talked about the mind and the spiritual world. It's very interesting, and I'll give you my thoughts. Novak gives his own insight into winning and losing and how he reflects on it.
I don't see losing or failure as such. I see it as another great lesson.
Novak often talks about his past and his difficult times, and that's helped to shape him into the person that he is today.
Build myself so I can show to the world that a kid from war-torn country be the best in a sport that is very global. All of these experiences have been there for a reason, and I don't regret anything. I don't pity anything. That's something that I had to go through. If we manage to get through that, as not just as a family, but as people, as a nation, there's not much that can break you down.
Novak Djokovic talks a lot about the inner work and about his spiritual mind, and he's a great little insight into the mind of Novak Djokovic.
Open mind, because I feel the ignorance and the close-mindedness and convictions that people have so strong. You go throughout your whole lifetime without really allowing yourself to open up to the world, learn about all these different cultures and things that can enrich your life and make you feel more fulfilled.
Novak talks a lot about journaling and how that helps him to have an open mind and to talk about things, but not just only thinking about them, but also writing them down.
I mean, I remember when I was quite young, from my tennis mother and from my parents, I learned how to kind of write and have specific things that I want to share, what I'm grateful for and things like that. Release a lot of things that were tensing me up.
Through journaling,
through journaling,
writing.
exactly.
Right.
But also through yoga.
One thing that I value a lot is goals and objectives, and Novak Djokovic breaks this down very well in his next talk.
In my mind and internally that, okay, this is exactly what I need for my heart, for my soul, the priority. I have to learn how to manage myself, my emotions, how to, not just to be a better tennis player, but to be a better human being. From my experience, you need goals and objectives. Balance that, what is truly the most important work, which is the inner work.
Novak talks a lot about the mind and the discipline required in order to achieve greatness.
Discipline, working towards objective, organized, preparing myself. If you fail to prepare, you prepare yourself to fail, right?
I love the way that Novak speaks about habits and how habits are so important, and you can change bad habits into good habits. And this is exactly about 21 days in order for you to change a bad habit to a good habit, or for you to formulate a habit.
Working on the habits, from bad habit to a healthy habit. So we need persistency, we need discipline. Okay, what am I doing right on the tennis court? How can I translate that and off the tennis court?
Novak talks about how he's able to channel his inner focus to one specific thing. Let's say if he's on the tennis court, so he focuses mind and body into one specific thing in order to achieve the best possible results.
Complete 100% focus and presence of mind and body and everything. But if we train ourselves to be present and more aware, then obviously we're shifting the attention of the subconscious and all the internal, external energies and nature and everything into that.
Novak Djokovic believes that preparation is a huge thing that is close to him and has also helped him to achieve the great things in the sport of tennis.
80% to 90% of the match that you won, for example, or any success that you have.
Before you stepped on the court.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Preparing myself physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually for the match that is coming up. I have the whole short-term and long-term plan. How can I get from here to there in a shortest time?
Novak talks about the subconscious mind and how this plays a huge role in your day-to-day life, and he talks about two main ways in order for you to hack your subconscious mind.
Bruce Lipton, that I also like to listen to a lot, he was talking about subconscious, right? And how subconscious is controlling probably 90-95% of our everyday life. Feed our subconscious with the information that is going to allow us to excel and to live the life that we want to, because your subconscious doesn't know what's good for you or bad for you, it just knows what you tell it. There are two ways to kind of hack your subconscious, which is hypnosis, which happens from, up until, you're 7 years old, and repetition. My wife and I are very passionate for the preschool education and early childhood development, vast brain growth, and that's where, you know, the fundamentals and the foundation of your life is set. After you're 7, it's repetition. It's discipline. Switching off all my phones after a certain hour, doing my praying work. I believe in the invisible world. Science proves, quantum science talks about it, where the most distant points are actually one in a split second, and we all have proven that. And so you just need to really believe it in order to achieve it. Where your attention goes, the energy flows.
Sport has taught Novak Djokovic many things in life, and one of the biggest things Novak mentions is discipline.
Discipline, that obviously sport has taught me so well. You can really reach anything that you truly want and desire in your life.
What was happening mentally and spiritually for you?
Well, first of all, to reflect on the impossible word. In the word you have, I am possible, right?
Absolutely.
So I truly, I don't believe in something is impossible. I really believe everything is possible.
Novak was very grateful for the holistic approach that he was taught from a very young age to have mindfulness, kindness, as well as the different styles of music he listens to and the people he hangs out with.
And she taught me about holistic approach to life, I think.
Wow.
Already back then when I was 7, 8. She really taught me how to, you know, think about grades in the school, music that I listen to, mindfulness that I have, the observation, the focus, the kindness, the relationship with people. I'm really grateful for my parents because they recognized the role of a mentor very early
on.
Novak mentions 2 spiritual healers, and the first one is Jose Pepe Maz, and this is the inner growth, inner mind, learning about what love and peace mean. The second spiritual healer is Jacques Willich, and he was a Reiki healer, and he was helping to connect Novak and his wife.
Jose Pepe Maz and Jacques Willich. Jose Pepe is from Spain, and Jacques is from Serbia. Consider them really as my spiritual and life teachers, my masters. Pepe's whole philosophy of life is love and peace. He brought that kind of energy into our lives, the perception of love and peace, what it really means. He kept on emphasizing inner work, inner growth, inner work, inner growth, universal love. Jarko, so about 7, 8 years ago, and I met him through my wife, actually, because my wife had a friend that knew him, and that's how we got into it. He's a Reiki healer, but he's much more than that. He helped a lot, both my wife and I, open our mind even more. When the student is ready, the teacher will come, right? Yeah.
To top off a very insightful and interesting interview, Novak Djokovic then answers a few questions from Jay, which are very interesting, so check them out right now.
What's the first thing that you do every morning?
Prayer.
Beautiful. Second question, what do you pray for?
I express my gratitude for my body, for myself, opportunity to continue my evolution as a multidimensional being. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for being able to have my senses and to have a most beautiful sunrise every morning.
How do you make sure that your energy is where you want it to be, spiritually, internally?
Daily something in my self-care work, meditation, or it's a 2-minute breathing, prayer, whatever it is. Keep doing it and be disciplined.
What's the best advice you've ever received?
Be open-minded. When you're open-minded, then you're ready to receive everything that we're surrounded with, and it's such a beautiful world.
My key takeaways are to focus on the presence and the mind and the body, as well as the preparation to make sure if you prepare yourself well, you'll be putting yourself in a much better stead to perform or execute the task at hand. Another key takeaway is to have discipline, to focus on doing the small tasks at hand day in, day out, so that the bigger tasks are going to be easier to complete. And it's also very important to focus on the good habits and to make sure you're doing the right things every single day. Practice gratitude, mindfulness, as well as giving back to others as well too. Finally, to practice mindfulness and to do this every single day, even if it's for 5 or 10 minutes. If you're able to do this consistently, then it can tap into your subconscious mind and it'll be therefore something that you will do every single day without even thinking. Take care, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you on the next one.